California has lost tons of revenue ever since the passing of Proposition 13, which basically froze property tax at like 1978 assessed values. It's basically rent control for homeowners. So if you live in a $10 million house today, you can be paying like $100 a year in property taxes, or let's say even $500 a year in property. You're paying nothing in property taxes. And that's kind of become a third rail of government in this state. If anyone makes any noise about ending Prop 13, repealing Prop 13, that person will never win elected office because all the landlords will come out against them. It's really bad, and it's going to take probably 50 years to unwind, even if we were to decide tomorrow. That's not just my soapbox. I mean, like, I talk about it in the article, but that also caused a lot of public jobs to disappear. I mean, that was one of the big factors of I guess just black disenfranchisement in the 80s, especially, was just all these public jobs that disappeared, deindustrialization, the killing of unions. Obviously, there are a number of factors, but if you could point to an original sin of California in the second half of the 20th century, I think Prop 13 would definitely be top 3, maybe even number 1. But it's probably the biggest reason that our state is so underfunded today. And you look at the schools and how they're kind of hankering for money. I mean, there's also been a big charter school movement in the last, I guess in the 21st century especially, which is driven by really wealthy people around school choice. And, you know, the narratives around school choice originate in desegregation of schools. There are a lot of things wrong with politics and the economy of California, and a lot of them are revealed in Cadillac Corning. And I haven't even gotten to policing.
When you went down that rabbit hole of trying to learn about Cadillac Corning, let's just talk about some of the real things that you were reading about, which was basically crack cocaine dealing, gang banging, drive-by shootings, murder, all of these things you were learning that had occurred in this community, really off this intersection where you were living. What was your first reactions to that, and did that inspire you wanting to write about this neighborhood?
I had already wanted to write about it. I just didn't really understand. Like, I'm glad I didn't, because there was so much I didn't know. I was kind of amazed. I felt like I needed more answers, just because I loved where I lived. Like I've already described it, it's such a great place to live. I mean, and it was also really safe. So reading that there had been a lot of crime there, and that there wasn't any more, and that there had also been this really big policing action there that lasted 15 to 20 years in different forms. I don't want the answer to be that all the policing saved the neighborhood, because I just don't, like, I kind of refuse to believe that narrative holds up. And so I just kept digging in. And, you know, what I found is this institution of a gang injunction, which started in 1987 in Cadillac Corning, it basically criminalizes geography for black people. Like, if you fit a description of a gang member, you could be, you know, asked to put your hands up against the wall and just be searched. You know, you could ask to show your ID. If you were listed as being a member of this gang, you know, you couldn't congregate in groups of 2 or more. You couldn't stand outside in one place for more than 5 minutes. And these were all tactics to suppress gang activity, but it just basically suppressed life in the neighborhood in general, and made it a hostile environment for people who had nothing to do with the gang. And you could say, oh yeah, but look, you know, there may have been some collateral damage, but you got rid of the gang. But it's like, first of all, to the extent that it got rid of like gang activity, it got rid of it for like 2 years, and then a different gang came in, or it got rid of it for a few years and then the same gang came back. Like it didn't address any of the root problems of why the gang was there to begin with. Like it didn't address the problem of like there being garbage on the street and like garbage collection not coming. Like it didn't address the problem of people here being part of a, you know, school to prison pipeline where they're in Hamilton High School and they can get arrested, you know, on campus for representing a gang, you know. Like it didn't address any of the root issues. And so the crime may have left Cadillac Corning, but it didn't go away. It just went somewhere else. And like, I'm not sure like that's a real success story.
Thanks for watching StreetTV.net. If you're not subscribed, please hit that button below and click the bell to receive alerts and notifications. Feel free to comment below so you can give us your feedback, and be sure to watch the 2 related episodes to the right. If you want to support this platform or follow us on social media, visit the links in the description, and thanks for watching StreetTV.net.